And hello everyone out there in internet land, those watching us on Facebook or YouTube, our respective channels. If you're watching us live this evening, know that we will be archived in both places, so you can catch us later as well. And tonight, we again come here to the Road Angel Trucker Center at 868, just by Brown County, Illinois, on I-70, for our Thursday night Bible study. We have every Thursday night at 7:30 till about 8:30. We would invite you all to come by on any night so that you can enjoy our free parking and showers and food, our snack bar and coffee, as well as free laundry facility and all the amenities you might need out in the road. We would love to have a chance to serve you, because that's what we're here for, is those on the road, especially young families. This evening, in our Bible study, we have just come off of a couple chapters where before the Israelites begin to enter into Canaan, they reviewed the law and the worship of the Lord, because that was their first order of business on undertaking this great adventure into the promised land, is to be right with the Lord, to remind themselves that they are the Lord's people and to keep His ways once they enter in. This evening, we'll be starting in the book of Numbers in chapter 31, where before their main entry into Canaan, they have a business to settle with the Midianites. But before we begin that, I'd like us to pray and ask the Lord His blessing on our time this evening. Father God, I thank you for bringing us here together. I thank you for that spirit you placed in our hearts to lead us into wisdom, to give us that hunger for your living word. And I thank you, Lord, for the word you put before us tonight. I ask you, Lord, that you will help guide us into that truth and wisdom you have prepared for each of us tonight in your word, that you will quicken that spirit in our hearts, to give us a love for your Bible and a desire to stay in it every day, not just once a week, but to remain in the word and become more and more steeped in your guidance for our life. And I thank you most of all, Lord, for your Son, Jesus Christ, of which this your word points. I thank you for his substitutionary sacrifice on the cross, that we might be saved. And in Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Now in chapter 31, we are going to have a divine command for a war against the Midianites. The undertaking of the war, the success of the war, and their triumphant return from the war. Whereupon Moses will pay the respected soldiers, rebuke them somewhat, and give directions for the purification and the disposition of the spoils. But the first section we start with, in Numbers chapter 31, verses 1 to 6, I'll read and then comment on this. 31. Chapter 31, and verses 1 to 6. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Avenge the children of Israel of the Midianites. Afterwards shalt thou be gathered unto thy people. And Moses spake unto the people, saying, Arm some of yourselves unto the war, and let them go against the Midianites, and avenge the Lord of Midian. Over of every tribe 1,000, throughout all the tribes of Israel, shall he set the war. So there were delivered out of the thousands of Israel 1,000 of every tribe, 12,000 armed for war. And Moses sent them to the war, 1,000 of every tribe, them and Phinehas, the son of Eleazar the priest, to the war with holy instruments, and the trumpet was blown in his hand. So the Lord of hosts orders to Moses to make war on the Midianites. The Midianites are the posterity of Abraham. Abraham, by Keturah in Genesis 25:2, did father Midian. And some of them set south came. Among them Jethro lived, and they retained the worship of the true God. But these were settled east of him. They had fallen into idolatry. They were neighbors to and in confederation with the Moabites, who, as we remember, had also been given Israel some promise. And their land, however, was not designated to be given to Israel. As descendants of Abraham, they had part of that Abrahamic promise. And so Israel had not come in to take their land, though they, hearing Israel's design, had decided to cause Israel great discomfort, sending their women in to tempt them toward idolatry. This being the plan of Balaam, who we remember from earlier chapters. Now, that's their quarrel with them. For this, we're going to avenge Israel of the Midianites, what the Lord says in verse 2. God is going to have the Midianites chastised. An inroad made into that part of the country, which lays next to the camp of Israel. And we see here that God would have us reckon as our worst enemies, those that draw us into sin, those that separate us from the Lord, rather than from worldly things. God took vengeance on his own people for yielding to the Midianite temptations. And now, the Midianites that gave the temptation will be reconciled. Because, as it says in Job chapter 12, verse 16, with him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. And so they will both be up to punishment for their part. The plague that God sent among the Israelites punished them for their adultery with the Midianites. And now he'll send the Israelites to punish the Midianites. Judgment, it says, begins in the house of God. In 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 17 we read, for the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of God. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God? And there's a day coming when the vengeance will be taken on those that have introduced errors and corruption into the church. Israel's quarrel with Amalek, the Amalekites. The Amalekites had fought against them as soon as they approached their land. That was not avenged until long after the 12th meeting. The Amalekites damaged their property. They've taken their things and life. But the Midianites became first. The Midianites rebelled away from the Lord, which was considered the greatest crime. The Midianites were very speedily avenged as soon as the time was through. Now God's going to have this done by Moses. Though Moses now knows he is soon to be gathered to his people, to pass on, and to allow others to take his place in leading the people. So Moses knows for he will not be entered the promised land. Here, with his people entered from the enemy, God is allowing Moses to see the execution of that judgment order. So the enemies of Israel will be punished before Moses' eyes. So he knows his judgment has come, and afterwards he will be gathered to his people, as it says. God is released before the Spirit. But here Moses is removed just as they come into the promised land. And we can satisfy ourselves fully with the knowledge that God will not do so until the work which is appointed him is done. Moses has fulfilled all that God wishes to fulfill, all that God needs him to fulfill. And now he will bring the people into the promised land without Moses and give Moses his earned rest. Now, Moses gives orders to the people to prepare for the expedition in verse 3. They're going to arm themselves for the war, 1,000 out of each of the tribes, the ones that are most fit or most zealous for the fight. Okay. And avenge the Lord on Midian, as God said. Avenge Israel. Moses says avenge the Lord. For the interest of God and Israel are united. We are forbidden to avenge ourselves. God has said, vengeance is mine, I will repay. And here, the Lord has his wrath set against Midian. And the people of Israel will take vengeance on Midian, not for themselves and their own hurt, but for the fact that their Lord has not seen glory. That the Lord has been injured, and that his people will go astray. And because he has asked them, for his sake, to take vengeance in the Midianites, they do it, but not for their own initiative. Now, an attack is drawn out, 1,000 every tribe, 12,000 in all, and a small number, this is in comparison to what they could have sent. As we read it in 1 Samuel, chapter 14 and verse 6, and Jonathan said to the young man that bare his armor, come and let us go over unto the garrison of these uncircumcised. It may be the Lord will work for us, for there is no restraint of the Lord to save by many or by few. They fight with the Lord alongside them, with the power of God, a righteous power to punish those deserving. That they need not great numbers, but only what is required. And as well, it mentions with Phineas, the son of Eleazar, sent to them. Now, there's no mention made of Joshua with this. We do not find him leading them out as a general. They have the leaders of thousands and the leaders of hundreds. And they have Phineas, who is not given a position as a general explicitly here, though he's sent with them, the son of Eleazar the priest. We don't even find him leading